9 foods you should never eat. 9 foods you should never attempt to eat. It's a well-known fact that there are numerous food sources that have been depicted as solid when they really are awful for you. In this video, you will discover nourishments you ought to never eat that, introduced by Jared Koch, who is the organizer of Clean Plates. The issue with most food is that it is advanced by organizations so that it is persuading a great many people. Organizations utilize the words sense, sugar and all characteristic on their marks. However, that doesn't really guarantee that the food is beneficial to eat. Before we start this video, remember to buy into our channel for all the more day-by-day tips this way and turn on warnings so you never miss our new recordings. Presently, how about we break down the main 9 food sources you ought to never eat. 1. Canned tomato. Canned food contains BPA, which is a harmful compound that is connected to conceptive anomalies, expanded danger of bosom and prostate malignant growth, diabetes, coronary illness, and other medical conditions. The Consumer Reports trying states several servings of canned food can surpass as far as possible for everyday BPA openness for youngsters. There are various medical conditions related to BPA synthetic compounds. These medical conditions incorporate conceptive mischief, expanded danger of mental incapacities in children, the danger of unnatural birth cycle, hormonal disturbance, expanded danger of specific malignant growths, and the sky is the limit from there. BPA is found in the vast majority of the plastics we use, and an overview led by the Centers for Disease Control even uncovered that BPA was distinguished in 93% of p-tests tried among 2,517 individuals more seasoned than 6 years of age. The explanation that canned tomatoes have a particularly high danger of BPA tainting instead of other canned merchandise is a result of the causticity. Dr. Merkel clarifies that canned tomatoes have high sharpness, which can make BPA stick onto your food. On the off chance that you need to protect tomatoes however don't have any desire to chance burning through BPA, utilize new tomatoes, develop your own tomatoes, or buy natural tomatoes. 2. Processed meat. According to a 2011 audit of in excess of 7,000 clinical examinations that inspected the association among diet and disease, handled meats are not beneficial and everybody ought to try not to eat them. This report was charged by the World Cancer Research Fund. Koch adds that handled meats are commonly made with meats from animals that are brought up in animal taking care of homesteads. This implies that they are taken care of development chemicals and different medications. He adds that the meats additionally contain nitrite, which adds tone and flavor to the food. Nitrite can possibly be changed over into nitrosamines in the body, which are solid malignant growth-causing synthetic compounds. In all honesty, handled meat has been connected to coronary illness and can contain various hurtful synthetic substances. In case you're thinking about what precisely is viewed as handled meat, you might be somewhat shocked. Handled meat incorporates meat like bacon, ham, hamburger jerky, canned meat, wieners, franks, corned meat, salted and restored meat, and then some. Prepared meat is additionally known to be connected to different various sorts of constant sicknesses including persistent obstructive respiratory disease COPD, inside and stomach malignancy, and hypertension. In spite of the fact that you are not liable to build up these illnesses, you should, in any case, restrict the measure of prepared meats you eat in light of the fact that individuals who eat handled meat are more in danger of building up these kinds of infections. Do you eat any of the things referenced in this video up until now? Continue looking for some much additional astounding nourishments that you ought to never endeavor to eat. 3. Margarine. Margarine contains trans fat, which as indicated by Dr. Merkel, is an unnatural fat. The U.S. dietary guidelines express that Americans ought to burn through as minimal trans fat as could be expected. Why? Well, as indicated by analysts at the Harvard School of Public Health, they gauge that trans fat causes between 72,000 to 228,000 heart assaults, which incorporates very nearly 50,000 lethal ones, every year. The most effortless answer for this is to purchase margarine that is produced using grass-eating cows. This sort of margarine will contain a substance called formalin corrosive, CLA. This sort of margarine additionally contains immersed fat, which numerous individuals accept to be unsafe yet is really useful for your body. For vegetable oil, Mercola states that vegetable oil is exceptionally handled. Mercola adds that when warmed, vegetable oil can cause harm by changing over great cholesterol into awful cholesterol by oxidizing it. At the point when the oil is warmed and blended in with oxygen, it gets foul. This is a compound that ought to never be burned through on the grounds that it can prompt vascular sickness. As per WebMD, some vegetable oils can likewise contain trans fats, which you currently know is very hurtful to the body. Vegetable oil likewise adds to irritation in the body and is additionally stacked with trans fats which can be profoundly poisonous. Trans fats can build the danger of creating different infections like coronary illness, diabetes, malignancy, and even corpulence. 5. Microwaved popcorn. Microwaved popcorn contains perfluorooctanoic corrosive, PFOA, and perfluorooctane sulfonate, PFOS. Both these synthetic substances appear as pollutants in blood, and when warmed up, filter onto the popcorn. These synthetics have a few well-being perils. The primary threat is fruitlessness. As per an examination that is distributed in the diary Human Reproduction, specialists found that FA and FOS expanded the chances of fruitlessness. Indeed, FA was connected to a 60 to 150% expansion. Another risk is expanded LDL cholesterol (LDLs). A recent report found in the archives of pediatric and adolescent medicine expresses the teenagers that have higher Phe levels had more elevated levels of LDL cholesterol, and FOS was related with a higher by and large cholesterol level. The FDA additionally expresses that the synthetic covering which is utilized in microwave popcorn packs can break PFOA, is distinguished by the National Security Organization as a reasonable cancer-causing agent. Different investigations express that a corrosive that is found in this substance can cause disease in creatures, making it likely that it might expand the danger of malignancy in people. 6. Non-organic potatoes. If you are searching for solid products of this oil, purchase natural. Under the USDA natural standards, engineered or all synthetic substances are not allowed in them. So, however, not all expectedly developed leafy foods have a similar pesticide load. In 2013, 48 foods grown from the ground were tried by the Environment Working Group. Potatoes were among those that had the most elevated pesticide load. 7. Table salt. Our bodies need salt to live. However, the table salt that is found in handled food sources isn't equivalent to the salt that our bodies need, says Mercola. Mercola adds that prepared salt is 98% sodium chloride and the other 2% is man-made synthetics like dampness and added iodine, which is as destructive to the body, similar to ferrocyanide and aluminosilicate, which can likewise be found in handled salt. Salt additionally influences water maintenance, making your body clutch water and causing bulging. What's more, an excessive amount of salt can likewise give you desires for considerably more pungent, oily food sources. This can prompt indulging, which can prompt weight to acquire and an unfortunate way of life. It is ideal to restrict the measure of salt in your eating regimen to limit the danger of any of these medical problems. 8. Soy protein isolate. Mercola clarifies that the main issue with soybeans is that 95% of them that are filled in the U.S. are hereditarily designed so they can make soy protein seclude. They are developed to withstand other deadly portions of herbicide. So, Mercola adds that the gist with medical advantages is natural soy. Natural soy is appropriately aged and is the lone soy item that is suggested. Mercola clarifies that the aging interaction lessens the phytate and against supplement levels. 9. Artificial sweeteners. According to a report found in Appetite, fake sugars, for example, aspartame can animate your hunger, invigorate fat stockpiling and weight gain, and increment carb yearnings. The report likewise demonstrated that aspartame and saccharin were found to cause more weight to acquire than sugar. Notwithstanding weight acquires, an investigation distributed in Nature, which is a global diary of science, discovered that fake sugars initiate glucose prejudice by adjusting the gut microbiota, which can cause diabetes. The truth is, there is a wide range of things in this world that can introduce a peril to our well-being, including heaps of various food sources. From handled meats to counterfeit sugars, No one can tell what can build your opportunity of infection or other medical problems. This is the reason it is critical to eat a supplement-rich eating regimen and attempt to restrict the measure of undesirable food sources in your eating routine. Despite the fact that it isn't prescribed to remove low-quality nourishment totally from your eating routine, recall that these kinds of food sources ought to be eaten with some restraint. A supplement-rich eating routine joined by a sound way of life that incorporates practice a couple of times each week can lead you to a solid life and furthermore limit your danger of creating medical conditions while improving your general physical and mental prosperity. You don't need to remove all your number one nourishments, yet be aware of what you are eating, how regularly you are eating it, and what different sorts of sound food sources you are joining into your eating regimen. What are some different food sources that you know aren't in this video that you figure individuals ought to never endeavor to eat? Tell us by remarking underneath. Delighted in this video? Hit the like fasten and buy into our channel for additional recordings like this. A debt of gratitude is in order for watching.